Hello YouTube, Normal Guy 0986 here coming at you saying today is the 8-year anniversary of the passing of one of my all-time favorite singers, actually my all-time favorite singer, Ronnie James Dio, the man in this picture right here, and of course recorded this fantastic album back in the 80s, Holy Diver, his debut record with his solo band Dio, yes. And this is a special tribute video to Mr. Ronnie Dio. The man was just fantastic as far as being a musician goes. He started back in the 1950s singing doo-wop style music. With a group called Ronnie Dio and the Red Caps and whatnot. Now, this band actually would, later on, this same lineup would go on to become the band known as Elf, which was the first rock and roll outfit that they were a part of. And they did release a live album called Live at the Domino's, where they actually did a live performance at Domino's Pizza. And it's a very fantastic listen. I highly suggest listening to it. It's absolutely amazing, if you ever get the chance to. It's a very good performance, And then, of course, after Elf, he would go and join Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, which is where he really gained a lot of his notoriety and fame. With the first 3 albums, Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, Rainbow Rising, which contains my all-time favorite track, which would be Stargazer, and then, of course, the amazing album Long Live Rock and Roll. Those are just 3, if you ask me, the best albums of the 70s. Everyone talks about stuff from like Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, and they are, and by all means they should be. They are fantastic bands, and those albums should be talked about. But there's just so much great music from the 70s. There really and truly is. But my favorite would be Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow by far, and Black Sabbath. I mean, both of them, Sabbath, they invented the metal. And actually, right after Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, Ronnie James Dio went and fronted Black Sabbath for 2 fantastic records, being Heaven and Hell and The Mob Rules, 2 of the heaviest records of all time. And then after that, they would go and do a live album known as Live Evil. And it was during the mixing of Live Evil where him and the drummer, Vinny Appice, were in a dispute over the mixing of the album with the guitar player, Tony Iommi, and the bass player, Geezer Butler. And unfortunately, this led to the 2 of them parting from the band of Black Sabbath. And actually, they would go on later to form Dio. And, of course, Vinny is the original drummer. And, of course, Ronnie Dio being the vocalist, along with guitar player Vivian Campbell and the amazing bass player Jimmy Bain. Rest in peace. Jimmy passed away not too long ago, back in 2015. Very tragic. He died. Actually, while he was on tour, he was actually on a what's called the 70,000 Tons of Metal tour. He was in with this, with the Vivian Campbell Dio tribute group they were doing, and it was just sad to hear about that. Dio's music has touched my life, but not only that, but the person himself. Even though I've never had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Dio, him as a person, he's really influenced me. He did so much for his fans. He loved his fans. He worked so hard for people. Like back in the 80s, he did this thing called Hearing Aid to raise money for famine in Africa. And the song that came up was called We're Stars. And this big collaborative effort between all the biggest metal acts of the day. Rob Halford of Judas Priest. You had Dave Murray of Iron Maiden. You had, Twisted Sister in there. You had Yngwie Malmsteen rip an amazing guitar solo in that song. I mean, it's just a fantastic of all these musicians coming together. And actually, on much later in his career, Dio wanted to do something very similar with a charity that he worked with, known as the Children of the Night. The song that he wanted to do this one on was called a song called "Throwaway Children," and it was this charity, Children of the Night, is dedicated towards rescuing children from sex trafficking, so saving them from being sex slaves. So I mean, needless to say, that's a very amazing and heroic thing, and I highly respect the man for that. God bless Dio for doing that. And that's, I don't know what to say about that. It speaks for itself what he did there. And he wanted to get this big collaborative effort to get on and do the song with him. but unfortunately it never came to fruition. However, the song does exist on his album Killing the Dragon, and it's an absolutely beautiful song. If you listen to it, it will bring a tear to your eye. It is easily one of my favorite songs, right up there with Stargazer. That and Stargazer are the two right there. And then he rejoined Sabbath under the new name of Heaven and Hell, and later released this album. This is his final album, The Devil You Know. And what a final album it was. Such a fantastic album. Songs from like Adam and Evil, The Turn of the Screw, Neverwhere, and the fantastic Bible Black. Just a fantastic record. His final album with Black Sabbath. The lineup that he was with Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, Vinny Appice. And what an album. Why was this his final album? Why did he do more? Well, sadly, shortly while touring on this album, it was discovered that he had come down with stomach cancer. And 8 years ago today, he lost that battle with the gastric cancer. Dio, just thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for saving those kids. And thank you for the amazing music. By the way, he brought the horns to music. Everyone thinks this is devil horns. No, it's called the Maloik. Okay? Look it up. It's actually giving the devil the finger, so to speak. Thank you, Ronnie James Dio. Thank you for everything. God bless you. My life is better because of you. Rest in peace. Love and respect. This is Normal Guy 0916. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.